Hey, shortcuts. This is video 2 for February 22nd. This is jazz, blues, funk, soul, and prog. So, yeah, some interesting things here. I'm going to start with two records that have a very clear musical identity in common, plus some personnel in common. Now, a very good friend of Shortcuts is Yvonne. And Yvonne pinged me earlier this year to say that his favourite record that he bought from Shortcuts last year was this. Early 60s John Coltrane quartet. It's called Ballads with McCoy Tyner on piano. So it's a hard cardboard gatefold on the beautiful Impulse label with the usual wonderful listening notes. Just beautiful stuff. Elvin Jones as well. Amazing reviews, this record, even though at the time it was, somewhat under-regarded. There's this view that this was a record that John Coltrane didn't want to make, but when you listen to it, I just cannot believe that's true. But McCoy Tyner's piano playing just adds to the mellow nature of it. And, compared to A Love Supreme, which is also in the pack tonight, it's incredibly accessible and beautiful. And then there's this, which I think, of all the records that have gone out recently, this is the one where I've had the most positive feedback. And so therefore I wanted to make sure that I got another copy. This is Nights of Ballads and Blues. Again, you'll notice that hard cardboard Impulse listening notes on the inside. Impulse Records just nailed it. And this is McCoy Tyner's third album. And it is an utter delight from start to finish. It is just gorgeous. And, I think, look, these two records are of a piece. They're both utterly wonderful. Now, this next record has no Discogs sales. And when you see it, you'll be amazed. Look, this is The Real Thing by Taj Mahal. You can see it here, recorded live at Bill Graham's Fillmore East. This is a quite extraordinary record because this gatefold, hard cardboard gatefold, features a photograph of the band. And so you probably noticed something unusual. There are 4 tubas on stage. Yep. This live record by Taj Mahal, a blues legend at the Fillmore East, has 4 tubas on stage. It's crazy. Never been sold on Discogs. I don't know. I should probably keep this one, but I think that there'll be somebody out there who will utterly adore that record. Much as I love this sleeve, and it is an absolutely gorgeous sleeve, it is not the best sleeve in tonight's selection. That is undoubtedly the next record. Now, this is still in the shrink. This is a US first press, I think from 1972, maybe 73. This is called Well Done by T-Bone Walker. Now, can you see his guitar there? An amazing sleeve. And then a more famous style photograph of T-Bone Walker going all the way back to the 40s. This is kind of a bit of a celebration of his later blues period, and delightful it is too. Now this next record, so we've had, two records from the 70s. This is a blues record from the early 80s that won the Grammy for, get this, Best Ethnic Recording. Now, that might set the hairs running. You might think, what is Stephen giving us some, African juju music, or are we going to go for some Icelandic, vocal? No. Best Ethnic Recording. B.B. King. There must be a better world somewhere. Now, Grammys. Really? The good thing is, it's a wonderful record. And so it's, Dr. John on piano, and the absolutely wonderful Bernard Pretty Purdy on drums with a full horn ensemble. But really, the Grammys, man. Anyway, back to Impulse. I always grab this if I see it. The hard cardboard, absolutely wonderful. Love Supreme, John Coltrane. All-time classic. Enough said. Now, this one you might not know so much. This is Wayne Shorter, who played with Coltrane and many, many others in an absolutely stellar career. Also as part of the rather wonderful Weather Report. And I really like this record sleeve. Now, this includes kind of Water Babies and some songs that Wayne Shorter did with Miles Davis. But it's really it's kind of out there, but still moments of real beauty. Now, this is produced by Duke Pearson. Now, if any of you want to become friends of mine, there's an album by Duke Pearson that he did in the 70s called The Phantom that is on my Holy Grail list. If you see it anywhere, please let me know. But anyway, this is Supernova by Wayne Shorter. John McLaughlin, Sonny Sharrock, two of the greatest guitarists, jazz guitarists, actually just guitarists, full stop, play on this. Chick Corea as well on percussion. Now, from the stylings of Wayne Shorter to one of my some of my kryptonite. I bloody love Christmas records. I know, unapologetically, but I also love soul music. So when you put soul and Christmas together and you get the soul Christmas, then my heart melts. This is Booker T, Otis Redding, King Curtis, Solomon Burke, William Bell, and others. Just incredible stuff. I play this record all the time, regardless of whether it's Christmas or not. My kids laugh at me. What Are You Doing on New Year's Eve by King Curtis is worth the price of entry alone, and is just rather holy in my regard. This next record I've been looking for a long time. I love Black Uhuru. Absolutely, without doubt, the greatest British reggae band of all time. And I know there are UB40 fans out there. And I agree, UB40's first record, Debbie Rabin, is pretty special. But Black Uhuru are incredible, and this is their best album. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Shine Eye Gal, all the way through 1979, roots reggae at its absolute stellar best. Freaking brilliant album. Now, when it comes to compilations, it's hard to get much better than this. This is a young person's guide to King Crimson. Now, part of the reason that this record is something that I love dearly is that it comes with this really beautiful kind of snapshot in very moody black and white of some pictures of King Crimson during, I think it's the first 7 years. And you can see here the photographs of all, Lark's Tongue and Poseidon and the Court of the Crimson King and the Lizard and others. You can see many of them. But on this side, you can see that the track listing is, you can see here it says, The Young Person's Guide to King Crimson. Let me read this. A personal selection compiled by Robert Fripp. And so it's Robert Fripp's own kind of predilections with the tracks that he loves the best. So you don't get 20th Century Schizoid Boy, you get Epitaph. And you get Cat Food, which is a really odd choice, but in the context of the record, it's wonderful. But you also get Red and Starless together. Red and Starless from the Red album, I think, is arguably the, progenitor of proper proto-metal. It is riff-tastic. Anyway, the opposite of riff-tastic is this. The Stone Ponies. This is Linda Ronstadt's debut album. A kind of a folk rock record, 1965. Surprisingly great is the way I would put it. Not what I was expecting at all. I've had this one for quite some time, and I've been looking for a reasonably priced second copy to put to you guys, because it's really quite hard to find. And Linda Ronstadt has her fans. Now, there's a couple of movies out at the minute. In fact, one movie in particular that features a Linda Ronstadt music, and I'm not going to talk about that movie just in case some of you haven't seen it, because it's kind of part of the tongue-in-cheek nature of it. But anyway, it's the Stone Ponies featuring Linda Ronstadt. Go and listen to it on Spotify, and I suspect you might be pleasantly surprised. Now, of course, you can listen to the Psychedelic Sandwich or If or whatever from this hard cardboard, early Atom Heart Mother. Now, this next record, I had it maybe 5 or 6 lists ago, and I got 10 requests for it. So I have a second copy of Sade's The Promise. As I mentioned at the time, it's hard cardboard, gatefold, Japanese first press. All I have to say is 2 words: Sweetest Taboo. Now, this record is also pretty sought after. This is Rick James' third record, Live It Up. Long out of print. Actually quite hard to find. And a surprisingly great funk record. A few more to go. And I love all 3 of these. They're very, very different. This has never been sold on Discogs ever before either. This is the Japanese first press from 1969 of The Bottom of the Blues by Otis Spann. Of course, the guitar is and always will be the archetypal blues record. But there is a time and a place for piano blues. Now, anyone who comes to this house and I get the opportunity to DJ for them, I will often pull out something by Champion Jack Dupree, and play, just because there's a feeling that you can get from listening to piano blues, which is pretty special. And I have this record. I love this record. It's great. Otis Spann, The Bottom of the Blues. I mean, Otis played with Muddy. Muddy Waters loved Otis Spann. Played with Fleetwood Mac. He's a legend, and that's a great record. Also legendary is Tina Turner, especially this period Tina Turner, early 70s. This record is called Feel Good and features one of the great Beatles covers, Ike's and Tina Turner's version of She Came In Through the Bathroom Window. Absolutely stellar. Now, how do you finish all of that? I know how you finish all of that. I was introduced to European prog by a good friend of mine, Wayne, who said to me, Italian prog, PFM, all these guys, they're well worth listening. And, you know, it took me a while, and you have to sift through some things that really aren't very good at all. And there's a tricksy nature to Italian prog that you kind of have to get your head around. But it was actually a stepping stone to French prog. I don't believe them actually saying that. French prog, and saying it with a straight face. And, you know, I immediately have to think about the Ramones and Clash, Joe Strummer turning in his grave. But this record has an utterly bizarre front screen, but is really quite fantastic. L'Araignée Mac by Atoll. Atoll is the best French band of the 70s. Now, last week I had Phoenix in the list, but this band now this is kind of hard to find. It's a bit odd. It's got some really unusual instrumentals, but God, there they are, handsome chaps. Look at that. It's you know, okay, it's got berries and lizards, and it's got, you know, it's got that end of the world feel, but it's a very, very, very interesting record for those of you who are predisposed to a bit of tricksy time signature, virtuosic instrumental and vocal gymnastics, aka mid-70s prog from Europe. I fully expect to still have this record by the end of tomorrow or Wednesday evening, but I don't care. I think it's great. All right, that's prog, soul, funk, blues, jazz for Shortcuts, February 22nd, 9 p.m. I shall see you all there. I'll look forward to it. Any questions or anything at all, just give me a shout, as always. And thanks for watching.